So hello all and welcome. And in this video, I would like to talk about the YouTuber and streamer, and I believe he's also a Twitch personality named Destiny. Now this guy is a rabid left-winger. Um, he kind of tries to play act at being more moderate so he can get some of the fence sitters and some of the people who are more center right to watch his content. So he tries to pander to as large an audience as possible, unlike other political and social commentators like Hassan, who pander to a very specific niche group, your socialist pinko, commie, Marxist scumbags. So he tries to have a little more reach. He tries to come across as a little more reasonable and critical and intelligent. But I've watched some of his content. I just find him to be a very insecure and child. He seems like somebody that is essentially in a state of arrested development. It seems like he's constantly trying to prove himself, trying to validate himself via debate clashing with others. He's one of these, debate me, bro! You know, he loves to debate. He's not very good at it. He thinks he's good at it. And if by good at debating you mean poning your opposition by sounding intelligent, talking very fast, muddying the waters, and generally shifting the goalposts, throwing out a lot of straw men, and making a lot of logical fallacies, while yourself rattling off a bunch of logical fallacy terminology to try and sound smart, well, then, yeah, I guess in that sense, you're getting a lot of W's, but the truth of the matter is he's not very intelligent. His debate skills are horrible in the sense that he rarely, if ever, wins on the merits of an argument. He's just very good at rhetoric. He's just very good at talking circles around people, shifting the goalposts, essentially changing the argument. And, you know, he's just very good at talking a lot while saying very little and confusing the matter. And he likes to use a lot of, logical terminology, a lot of debate terminology. Ad hoc, post hoc, syllogism, to try and sound intelligent, and he's really not. But, a lot of his followers ain't so bright either. A lot of them are lefty nut jobs, right, who themselves want to feel like they're more moderate, feel like they're more reasonable, and so they follow somebody like Destiny, even though he and them are anything. But and so this guy, and he's got a decent following, like 700 something thousand YouTube followers, gets married to some young, pretty hot, I've seen her, she's a good looking broad, Swedish broad that's 10 years his junior, and he's not that old either. And they decide, meaning she decides, and him being the pathetic kook boy, I'm going to say kook instead of the word that begins with a U, but you know what I'm referring to. A guy who lets his woman step out on him and have fun times with other men, and acts as if he's perfectly okay with it, when only the biggest loser in the world could be perfectly okay with it, and turns out he was probably never perfectly okay with it, but he pretended to be because he had so little self-respect and such low self-esteem that he just went with it, right? And he thought this would be a good idea. Yeah, not really. No. And he went on tons and tons of shows, essentially spewing his copium, trying to gaslight himself, gaslight his audience, gaslight other people's audiences into believing his degenerate, hedonistic crap that somehow, all of us that were dumping on the type of relationship that he had, this poly relationship, this open relationship, were just insecure themselves. Projection, basically. So it tells you how self-aware he is. And that we were envious, we was jealous of what he had, and I got it made in the shade, and you all are a bunch of losers that are just full of envy. Meanwhile, this guy is the one who's actually full of envy, like any good socialist, communist, pinko scumbag, which he tries to pretend like he's not, but he actually is. The whole moderate thing's an act. So anyway, this guy, they get together. She says, if we're going to be together, we're going to have an open relationship. The subtext being, you're a pathetic loser, you're not an attractive man, you've got some resources, and I assume he's got resources. I mean, maybe he's got sponsors, he probably gets Twitch donations, I know he gets a lot of donations on YouTube, he's got like almost 1 million subscribers, he gets a decent amount of views, so he's probably making 150, 200 grand a year, maybe more. So, you know, you're an ugly dude, you got resources, you really don't do it for me, but you're an American, and I'm Swedish, and I've got some tax problems and some other problems I want to run away from in my home country of Sweden, which she had tax problems that she was fleeing from. And so, you know, plus the fact, hey, you know, she wants to go from Sweden, where she's got a lot of competition, right? A lot less fatties over there, a lot more beautiful women who believe in being thin, so she can't compete as well, to regressive America with its body positivity, and most of the women are fat, and she's got a lot more power, a lot more sway, a lot more control here. So, you know, especially among the simpish male population, the kook boys like Destiny. So she thinks it's a step up. Hey, I'm gonna go. But, by the way, Sweden is a pretty, you know, uber feminist country as well. But they haven't embraced some of the insanity that we have in America. And of course, like I said, she was running away from some of her problems, and she probably wanted a green card. And I'm not sure what the amount of years are that you have to be married. I believe it's 2 years, and they were married for 2 years, and just all of a sudden she's up and leaving Destiny's ass. So I wonder if that's coincidence that you got to be married about 2 years before you can get your green card when you marry an American. And right at the 2-year mark, she's hitting the road. And divorcing this guy. Gee, I wonder if that's just a coincidence. So these two get together. Destiny, actually, it happened that he had a fan. This is how pathetic a loser Destiny is. He had a fan. There was in a poly relationship with some girl, which is his current wife. And this fan invited him to come to Sweden to visit. And he said, you can sleep with my wife. You can bang, well, his girlfriend. All right. You can sleep with my girlfriend. She's hot. She loves you. And Destiny, being the pathetic loser he is, with no options, low self-esteem, no self-respect, spends thousands of dollars to go and fly over to Sweden to, you know, cuck this guy out and bang his girlfriend. And then he steals the girlfriend, marries her in, you know, record time, it seems, and takes her back to America. Rinse, repeat, same pattern continues. And it never ceases to amaze me that this guy doesn't seem to understand that a woman's past is her future, that people very rarely change. And if you're hooking up with some broad who is cheating on and in a relationship where the guy knows that she's cheating and it's okay, and then she up and leaves him when something better comes along, it doesn't make you think that, okay, I'm the better guy now. If I take her back to America where she has, I mean, what's the population of Sweden compared to America? Sweden got a few million people? I don't know. It's not a heavily populated country, right? I mean, you know, America has hundreds and hundreds of millions of more people than Sweden. So if I take her back to my country where she's going to have far more options than she does in Sweden, how long before she cucks me out and leaves me for somebody better? But this didn't occur to Destiny, you know, like every pathetic simp loser out there, he was just happy to have a woman, happy to have some poon, and she's a good-looking broad, and she's willing to be with me. Oh, yeah, I got it made. Yeah, but the only thing you have to do is accede to her wishes and have a poly relationship with her as well, and that's the only way she'll be with you, because she's not really sexually attracted to you at any deep, meaningful level. Everything with her is materialism and looks and shallow, superficial things. And she's just concerned about getting her rocks off and getting her green card and leveling up. And you are allowing her to level up. You are a stepping stone, dude. That is all you are. You are not the end goal, okay? And she's young enough that she can. She's currently 25. Oh, I think Destiny. How old is Destiny? I'm not sure. We'll see in a sec. But so this chick seems she found a better dude. All right. Seems she found a dude, well, that she likes. It's better for her anyway, that she likes more than Destiny. And now she's dumping his butt just like she did her old Swedish boyfriend. And she dumped him for Destiny. So Destiny is waking up. And I don't like this guy, Destiny. Besides the fact that he's a faux intellectual who's extremely insecure, who has mommy and daddy issues, and his parents are both conservatives, and that's part of the parcel, the reason why he so hates conservatives, and he's so insecure and so lacking in self-respect, especially he is lacking in self-esteem to such an extent that where he gets his validation, where he gets his self-esteem is by debate me, bro, other people. And again, he's not good at debating at all. He's just good at, owning people in his own mind by talking fast, Ben Shapiro style, and, rattling off a bunch of straw men and shifting the goalposts, muddying the waters, poisoning the well. I mean, you name it, he commits tons of logical fallacies, and then he rattles off logical fallacies that you're supposedly responsible for, and then he shifts the goalposts yet again, and then you're talking about all these logical fallacies that you're not actually doing, and then he's gotten you distracted and shifted the goalposts yet again. So he's just very good at confusing issues and looking and seeming intelligent when he's actually not. He's a big fraud. He's a big phony. He's not intelligent at all. Not at all. But he does well financially, and so he was going to have a wife until that 2-year mark expired, and anybody with half a brain knows that this broad was not with him for his looks or for love, because anybody that loves you is not going to want to share you with anybody else. Something Destiny doesn't get, because clearly he's in his 30s. I could be his daddy, as old as I am. And if he had a decent father growing up, or maybe he did, but he rebelled, who knows? I could speculate. That might be for another video. But his father should have told him, should have taught him, should have made sure he learned the lesson, which might have been difficult because maybe both of his parents had to work, so they didn't have a lot of time to raise little Destiny, so the state did that. Maybe that's why he has all of these backwards, regressive, degenerate views of life and love. But someone that loves you will not share you with someone else. Real love has a certain level of possessiveness with it, and there's a certain level of want to invest in that relationship. And the more you invest, the more protective you are of that investment and maintaining it. And of course, stepping out on that person or them stepping out on you destroys the investment that you've put in. There's a certain level of possessiveness. And anybody that loves you is not going to want to cheat, nor are they going to want you to sleep with somebody else. So, duh. But of course, Destiny, the hedonistic nihilist that he is, thinks everything is relative. The supposed genius! Nietzsche-loving fool. Yeah. Thought it'd be a good idea to open his marriage up. And boy, oh boy, did that not work out. So let's take a look at this article that goes into a little more detail. Shall we?